Hello, my name is Edwin Marte. This is my solo project. First, I wanted to talk about the game, and what I wanted to achieve, since I did not get to finish the game. But basically, this is my game map. I did it using this tile application. It's an application to make 2D maps. Um, So yeah, basically I use this application. I use this pack from H.io, where I have all these houses, ridges, terrain, and basically this is the map. This is where here is where the players start. This is the spawn point, and my main idea of the game was the you were supposed to go down here and go to the this village or town, and apparently it seems to be destroyed by something. So you were supposed to talk to the villagers. They will tell you the there are some monsters that are destroying the houses and killing people in the village. So you were supposed to go into the caves. Basically, the game was supposed to be you were supposed to go into caves and defeat monsters. So the first cave didn't have a monster. So you just go in here and you get a key. Then with that key, you were supposed to come here, down, follow this path, open this gate. Once you open this gate, you were supposed to come here. Was supposed to be full of enemies, and then you get into this cave where you were supposed to defeat your first monster. Then once you defeat him, he was supposed to give you a an axe. With the axe, you come here and you destroy this tree. After you destroy the tree, you come here. This is a enemy base. You're supposed to kill enemies here, and then you come here. You go to the next cave here, and here you're supposed to kill one of the enemies. And then he's gonna give you a pickaxe. With the pickaxe, you can come here, destroy this rock, and also destroy this one. And after destroying those rocks, you can come to like the last area where the main boss is. So once you get here, this is the last boss will be, and then that's how you win the game. But I did not did a fighting system or health system or monster system. So I just have one NPC. Um, I think that's it for now. Okay, so I will show you the game. The game doesn't have these black corners like how it is here. It's normal, but the music is a bit loud. But I'll just show you the game first, and then I explain everything. I have this as a main screen where you can go up and down to a new game. I don't have a low game implemented, so if I press enter, there's nothing. But I have a quit system. If you press here, you're gonna get out of the game. And the game is called Caverns of Shadow because it's mainly about the caves. So if you press a new game, you go into the game. I did not add collision to these rocks yet, or this one, but you have collision to trees, you have collision with the NPC, you can talk to him. Oh wait. He talks to you. these are the same NPCs, so they're gonna say the same thing. So you can see when you talk to them, they turn around. So you. So yeah, I did not implement a house system. I did not put the door yet here. I do have a door and key system, but I did not finish it. And then you cannot go into the caves yet. Okay. Okay, this is my main class. Basically, this is the entry point to the game, and it setups the main window and initialize the game. Basically, here we got to close the game. It's now resizable. Here we can set up the title for the game. Then the set location related to null is for it to be on the center of the screen. Set visible is so we can see it. Also, I don't want to take full credit of everything since I use a YouTube video that helped me a lot since this was the first time of me working with Java and with the game itself. So I used this guy. I want to give most of the credit to him. Thanks to him, I did most of the things for my game. His name is Rice now, and I followed this tutorial where he's playing everything. He explains all the code, everything that he does. So I learned a lot from him. Okay, so this is my game panel class. Basically, here is where we manage all the functionalities of the game. Basically, the main game loop, the rendering graphics, updating the game entities, and handling the game states. Basically, the tile size is 16 pixels, 16 by 16. I scale everything times 3, so by scaling I mean the 16 times 3, so everything is a 48 times 48 tile. The match screen call is 16, the row is 12, so to get the screen, the size of the screen is gonna be the tile size times match screen call. It's a 768 times 566. That's the size of the screen, and the map is a 50 by 50. That's the map that I made that I showed before. That's a 50 by 50. This is for to show the FPS, 60 frames per second. And basically here's where I initialize various of the components like tile management, the key handler, the music, the sound, the collision checker, the setter. This is for to put like the NPCs on the map, the UI, and basically what else? I got the player, the objects, and the NPCs. Here I got the game states that I have in the game. Well, first the game state is the title state. That's where you start. That's the default when you start the game. And then when you press play or new game, you're gonna go into the play state. I have a post state also that when you press B, you post the game. I forgot to show that, so let me just show that real quick. So this is the first state. This is the 0. If you press new game, you're gonna go into the play state, and if you press B, you go into the pause state where everything stops. And then you have a dialogue state. That's when you talk to the villagers, and you go to that state. So this is the constructor setup, where here I set up the background. The background is basically, this is like a blue color that represents the water. So because the map is 50 by 50, it's not a very big map. So I just put like water, so it seems that it's like bigger. You see it, basically the water is, the map stops here, and this is the background. Then we set the size of the map, the key listener. Then here's where we set up the game, initial the game objects and NPC, and also that's where we start a new thread to run the game loop here. Okay, so this is the loop for the game where I use delta. Here, basically, where we use nanotime, and what it does is that at the beginning of the loop, it checks the current time, and then it subtracts the current time minus the last time. This is basically how much time it has passed, and we divide it by this draw interval, and then we add it to delta. So the current time is gonna become the last time. Then in this if statement, basically this delta is the time that has passed divided by the draw interval, and if it reaches this draw interval, it's gonna update and repaint, and then it's gonna go back to where it started. So it's gonna keep doing it over and over again. And then here, this is just to know, to print out here how many FPS. So this is basically this, just for me to know that it's working correctly. Okay, then we have this paint component, where every time you use the paint component, you're supposed to use this super paint component. And instead of using graphics, I'm using graphics 2D. Apparently it has more stuff that you can do. And then this is where we paint the title screen. So if we are not in the title screen, if we are in the title screen, we're just gonna draw the UI that I make for the title screen. If not, we're gonna draw everything else. So we're gonna draw basically the tiles, the objects, the NPCs, the player, and the UI. And then here, this is for the music or the sounds. So for Eclipse, you're supposed to use WAV files. Here I have a sound for a coin, the music, and to open the door. Not a coin. It says coin, but it's for the key. When you get a key. Okay, so this is the key handler. So the public word, then we have up press, down press, left press, right press, enter press. This is for when we use it like for walking or interacting. So basically, if we are in the title state, so if you're in the title state, W is gonna be to go up and down, up, and then S is gonna be to go down. So when you press W, it's gonna take out 1 to the command none, and if you press S, it's gonna be +1. And so for you to don't go like outside here, like if you press up, you teleport on here. We use this if statement. So if the common none is less than 0, um, it's gonna go to the second position. So the same goes back to the S. If the common none is more than than 2, you're gonna go back to 0. So that way you don't keep going up or keep going down. And then if you press enter, you're basically gonna go in the play state, and the play is gonna play the music. Then for this 0 represents the new game. Then 1 represents low game, and 2 represents quit. So because I don't have a save mode, there's nothing here. But I do have to get out. That's the number 2. So if you press enter here, you're gonna exit. And then the play state is basically what we use to walk. So W like to walk. That's what we're gonna use in the player class or whatever. So here we have if you are in the play state and you press P, you're gonna go into the post state. And we gotta enter. Enter we use it for talking to the villagers or interacting. And then if you are in the post state and you press P again, you're gonna go back into the play state. So if you keep pressing P, you're gonna be switching into the play state and post state. And then in the dialogue state, if you go near villager and you press enter, you're gonna go into the dialogue state. But if you press enter again, you're gonna go back to the play state. And then we have the press key. We have to have the key release. So this is just when you release the key, it goes back. So yeah. Okay, so this is the tile management. So here's where I manage all the tiles that are implemented in the game with this array of 99. I have 90 tiles. Well, it's not 90 because the first 10 are the same as like number 10. Because I use a txt file, each number represents a tile. So basically I had to one by one choose what tile I wanted to be in a specific coordinate. So it's basically the first thing are the same because they're a 1-digit number, and it will look weird if I put 1 digit here, so it's gonna look odd. So it's better to have 2 numbers because I don't have more than 100 tiles. So this is gonna be the name of the image, and then this represents the false represents the collision. So if I want collision, let's say so this spike corner, I just put through. If I don't want collision, like to the ground, it's false. So and then we go here in this setup where this is gonna read the image. Basically it's gonna read the tile plus the image name, and then this is gonna scale it to whatever I want, to GP tile size, and then this is for the collision. To load map, use this input stream to open the map as an input stream, the file path, and then the buffer reader we use it to read it more efficiently. Then we're gonna start in column and row 0, 0. So we're gonna start up here. We're gonna start reading up here, and then this loop is gonna it's gonna loop through each row. Oh, it's gonna loop into each row and column. Okay. And then this is gonna read a line from the file. Input string. It's gonna split the line to individual numbers. This is gonna split the line to individual numbers, so each tile has its individual. So each number is gonna have each individual tile. Then this is gonna store in the map array, store the tiles, and then this if statement is gonna reset the counter and move to the next row. So when you finish reading a row, it's gonna go to the next row. When you finish reading that row, it's gonna go to the next row, and it's gonna go on until it finish. Then and then we have this draw method where we start at 0, 0, and in this while loop, this loop is gonna go through each tile of the map, and then this is gonna get the tile from the map array. These two are going to calculate the coordinates for the tile, and this is gonna calculate the coordinates of the tile regarding where the player is. And then this is really good. This is to check the tiles within the player's view, so that way we don't draw every tile like 50 by 50. We just draw everything that the players can see. So that's why we have the 2x to go left and right, and 2y up and down. That way we're not drawing everything. And then this is gonna move to the next column or row after processing a tile. So when it draws one row or one column, it's gonna go to the next one, and so on. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the entity class. Here is where I talk about the sprites, animations, and the camera and the solid area. So basically, for the player, we have 4 animations. So 4 to go up, to go down, to go left, and to go right. We got 4 sprites, and the solid area is 48 and 48. This is basically a rectangle for the collision detection, and each character could have a different solid area. This is the default one, and then this right here is for the dialogue. So this is where you see when you talk to an NPC, they look at you. So basically, in this switch statement, if you are looking up and you talk to them, they're gonna look down. If you are looking down, they're gonna look up. If you're looking left, they're gonna look right. And if you're looking right, they're gonna look left. So they're gonna basically look at you in any direction that you talk to them. Then in this update, we have the collision, where if case is up, y it's gonna be minus or equal speed. Down is gonna be y plus or equal speed. Left is gonna be x minus or equal speed, and then right is gonna be x plus or equal speed. And then for the sprite counter, if the sprite counter is more than 12, it's basically we're gonna start our sprite number 1, and then once it's sprite number 1, we're gonna go to sprite number 2. After that, else if we are in sprite number 2, we're gonna go to sprite number 3. When we are in sprite number 3, we're gonna go to sprite number 4, and then in sprite number 4, we're gonna go back to sprite number 1. So you're just gonna keep going. Then in the draw method, then basically we have uh, the 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 player centered to the screen. Okay, so here we're gonna, so depending on the on-screen position on the entity related to the player, we're gonna use this switch statement where we're gonna go through the animation, so the sprites. So if we're going up, we're gonna go to sprite 1, then 2, 3, 4 of going up, and then the same thing goes for going down. If we're going down, we're gonna go to sprite 1, 2, 3, 4 of going down. The same goes to the left, and the same goes to the right. And then we're gonna draw. Then we're gonna draw everything. Okay, so for the collision checker, so we have this inner integer, the entity left for x is equal entity word x plus entity solid area. The solid area, like I said, each entity has its own solid area. Then entity right where x is gonna be equal entity where x plus entity solid area x plus entity solid area width. Then entity top word y is gonna be equal to entity word y plus entity solid area y. Then entity bottom y is gonna be entity word y plus entity solid area y plus entity solid area height. And then entity left call is gonna be entity left word x divided by GP tile size. Entity right call is gonna be equal entity right word x divided into GP tile size. In entity top row is equal entity top word y divided into GP tile size. And entity bottom row is gonna be equal entity bottom word y divided into GP tile size. So the switch statement is gonna be for each case going up, down, left, or right. Where entity row is gonna be equal to entity top word y minus entity speed divided into GP tile size. So depending the tile number, if GP tile map tile number is entity left call and entity row call, or entity right call or entity top row, basically we're gonna have a collision. If we collide to those tiles, it's gonna be true. And the same thing goes to down, left, and right. We just changing the plus and minus sign here, and entity bottom word y minus entity speed divided by tile size. We're gonna check the same thing again. And here is for the left. For the left is entity left for x minus entity speed divided by GP tile size, and then we're gonna check again. If player is colliding, then it's true, or entity is colliding. And then for the right is entity word x plus entity speed divided into GP tile size, and we're gonna check again. Collision is true. There we go. And then for the objects, well, I'm not gonna talk about the objects because I didn't get to implement it in the game. For the NPC, okay, so for the collision for the NPC, basically to get the solid area position of the entity, so it could be a monster, but for my case, I have this farmer NPC. So the entity solid area of, let's say, the farmer, it's gonna be equal to the entity word x plus entity solid area, and then entity solid area y is gonna be equal to the entity word x plus entity solid area y. And then to get the entity, to get the target solid area position, that could be a player, that could be a tile, whatever. We get the target solid area x, it's gonna be equal to target word x plus target solid area x. Then target solid area y is gonna be equal to target world Y plus target solid area Y. Then depending on in what direction, if the case is up, entity solid area Y it's gonna be equal minus entity speed. That's the case if the entity solid area intersects target solid area, well then you're gonna set collision true, so it's gonna collide. It's gonna be the same for going down, just the same thing. Entity solid area for to go down, it's gonna be plus or equal of the solid area Y, and to go left is gonna be equal or minus the solid area X and the entity speed, and to go right is gonna be plus or equal the solid area X or the entity speed. And then this is the collision for the player. It's basically gonna be the same thing basically. So we got the entity solid area X gonna be equal to entity world X plus entity solid area X. For the Y, entity solid area Y is gonna be equal to entity world Y plus entity solid area Y. And then the same thing for the target solid area position. The GP player solid area X is gonna be equal to GP player world X plus GP player solid area X. And then for the Y, GP player solid area Y is gonna be equal to GP player Y plus GP player solid area Y. Same thing for the four cases. If we're going up, entity solid area Y is gonna be minus or equal entity speed. Then if we intersect, then collision is true. Then the same thing for down. So solid area Y plus or minus entity speed, check, it's true. And then entity solid area X minus or equal entity speed. And for the right, solid area X plus or equal entity speed. For the solid area, to reset the solid area position is entity solid area X equal entity solid area default X. Entity solid area Y is going to be equal to entity solid area default Y. GP player solid area X is going to be equal to GP player solid area default X. And for the Y solid area Y, GP player solid area default Y. So this is the player class where we handle everything that has to do with the player. First, we handle the camera. So for the player to be exactly in the middle of the screen. And this, like I said, every character could have a different solid area. In this case, the player solid area starts X9 and Y18. And then the solid area is gonna be 25 instead of 40 something. It's better for the solid area to be less than the tile of the image, or the size of the image. That way you can you can do this basically. Like I'm colliding with this with my head, but my collision is basically my body, just this. So I can collide with some stuff. That way, basically, only my body is my collision, not my entire, like my head or whatever, or my hands. And then this is for the speed. The speed is 4, and the direction that is down. That's when you log into the game, you're gonna be looking down. This is where he's located. It's kind of like in the middle of the map, 23, 21. That's the coordinates where he starts. And then these are the images. So the images of him going up, going down, going right, and going left. And then this is the update. So here basically, if the key of press, this is basically for to control the player. So if up is pressed, up meaning W, we're gonna go up. If down is pressed, meaning S, we're gonna go down. Left is pressed, meaning A, it's gonna go left. Right is pressed, meaning D, it's gonna go right. So, okay, this is for the collision. for the tiles. So we're gonna check no. So here's what I said, that if collision is false, player can move. So if we're going up worldwide, it's gonna be equals or minus the speed. Going down worldwide, it's gonna be equal plus the speed. If we're going left, it's gonna be war x, it's gonna be equal or minus speed, and right, it's gonna be war x equal plus speed. Then we got the sprite counter, so the same thing. The sprite counter is greater than 12. We're gonna go to sprite number 1. If we are in sprite number 1, we're gonna go to number 2. If we are in sprite number 2, we're gonna go to 3. If we are in 3, we're gonna go to 4. To 4, we're gonna go back to 1. This pickup, I'm not using it, so this is for the dialogue, the interaction. That's the only interaction that I have with the NPC. So if key enter is pressed, then we're gonna change the state. So instead of being the play state, we're gonna go to the dialogue state. And then once you press enter again, it's gonna go back to the play state. And this is just to handle the sprite counter. So if you're going up, it's gonna be going sorry, it's gonna be going up from the sprite number 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're going up. If we're going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, left 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's gonna draw everything. This is the NPC farmer. This is the only NPC that I have, and basically his duration is gonna be looking down. His speed is 1 for now. You can change him, whatever value of 1. And we got the get image and set dialog here. So the get image will be the farmer sprites. So the farmer has 4 sprites also. So 4 going up, 4 going down, 4 going right, 4 going left. And then the dialogue, this is dialogue. I can choose more. I can choose more dialogues if I want to. But basically, this is when you press enter, it's gonna be going to each different dialogue. And then, so basically, this is the random movement of the NPC. So this is gonna choose a random number, like to pick a number from 1 to 100. So basically, if the random number is less or equal 25, the NPC is gonna be going up. So then if the number is more than 25 but less or equal than 50, it's gonna be going down. If the number is more than 50 but less or equal to 75, it's gonna go left. If the number is more than 75 and less or equal to 100, it's gonna go right. And then it's gonna go back to 0 and do it again and again, and it's gonna be keep doing that. Basically, it's gonna be keep doing this for 2 seconds. So each 2 seconds, it's gonna do one random number, and depending on the number, it's gonna go in one direction or another. Okay, now I have this setter class where here I can set objects or NPCs or monster. Basically, this is just an easier way to spawn enemies or whatever I want. I only have NPCs right now. I used to have objects, but I'm not implementing that right now. But for the NPCs, it's just one entity I want. So the farmer, that's the only one that I have. And then I gotta choose the war X and war Y coordinates for it. So this array, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 9. and these are the coordinates for each farmer on the map. This is for the sound. So basically for Eclipse you need to use WAV files. I have this array of 3 where I have my music. This is the game music. The music I found in itch.io. It was free. It's free to use. And the coins, and this is for the coin. It's not coin. This is for a key, and this is for a door, which I'm not using right now. That's basically then. This is for the files to get the audio and the music, and then this is to play the music. Then we have this loop so the music can keep going continuously without stopping, and here we can start the music. Okay, so this is all of this is for the for the title screen, So as you can see, when I press this, you can see the player in the middle. So basically that's this right here. So X would be equal GP screen width divided by 2. So we divide the width of the screen divided by 2 for it to be in the middle. And then wait, I got lost. Oh, and then minus the GP tile size times 2 divided by 2, and Y is gonna be plus or equal GP tile size times 2. So it's gonna go down here. Then the new game. This is I had this 3 or wait, sorry, right? This is the new game right here. This one. This is the low game. And this is the quit. So everything is center. X, you could get X for center, so everything is center in the middle. And then Y is plus equal the GP tile size times 3.5. So I can choose if I want this to be closer, up or down. And it has a command num equals 0. So new game is equal 0, like I said before. And then the same thing goes for low game. Low game is 1, and then quit is 2. So this is for if I want to, when I press enter here, it's gonna go to a new game. If I press enter here, it's gonna quit the game. Okay, then the pause screen. So I use the same font for everything, so it's the same font, and the pause screen is 80, it's pretty big. It says pause, so every time I press P, it's gonna pause the game. I can choose whatever color I want to choose, and then it's display in the middle, and in the Y is GP screen height divided by 2, so it's exactly in the middle of the screen. And then we have the dialogue. So we have the in X is equal GP tile size times 2, and in Y is GP tile size divided by 2. To get the width, it would be equal to screen width divided by GP tile size times 4, and to get the height, it would be equal to GP tile size times 4. Then to draw the small window, we're gonna use the same font, like the same font that I use. The text is gonna be 30, so it's not that big. That's when we talk to the villagers. And this is to split, because if we keep writing something too long, it's just gonna keep like. So if we write something that is long, like this one, it's just gonna keep writing to the right. So if you do that, it's just gonna cut it. This is just gonna cut it whatever you want. And then the sub window, this is the color. The 200. This is basically for, you can choose to the opacity. So If you get a higher number, it's gonna be the black. If you get a lower number, you're gonna see through it more. So that's for the dialogue. And then the fill round rectangle 35 35 is gonna fill the rectangle. Like, what is it? Okay. Then the color is 255 255 255. Let's use an RGB color. And then the draw round right is gonna be x plus 5, y plus 5, width minus 10, height minus 10. And that's basically these two rectangles together. So as you can see, the one inside is the black one, and this one is the white one. So I have two for the corners and one for the center. And I think this will be everything. Like I said, I did not finish the game. I wish I would have finished it, but due to work time and personal stuff, I couldn't get to finish it. But I was just missing the enemies health system and a fighting system. And then, and like I said before, I don't want to take full credit for all the code, since I got a lot of help from that video and from other resources. But at the end, I just try to understand everything in my own way, and I think that's it for now. Thank you.